Welcome back to episode 74 of the Block Runner podcast. I'm your host, William, always here with your co-host, Iman.
What's up, man?
Dude, again, we're back at it again in a week, and you're just off of the Moonshot, I guess, tournament, right?
Yeah, it's been one hell of a week, dude. We got a big live. We currently have a big live event going on in Decentraland.
So you've been on the inside kind of seeing all the work that it takes to facilitate something like this. It's a lot of work, right?
Well, I just show up. I really didn't organize the goddamn thing, to be honest. I could imagine. I think Maddie.
Well, I think it's
in,
between Maddie and Bentz, and then Frankie. Just
yeah,
trying to gather all the people. You know what? It's
and
hard
Toon
getting
Punk, I think.
in Toonpunk, yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard getting 10 people together all at once.
Huh. Yeah, no shit, dude. Dude, that's nothing, man. Like, yeah, but I was just thinking back to my World of Warcraft days when you had to get 40 people on at the same time to fucking do anything.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But what I'm seeing is that people are like undefined are just jumping in and like playing on any team, and it's just like randos joining.
Yeah, because like you said, there's always gaps, right?
Yeah.
I mean, most of these projects, like the idea is there's like 24 teams. They're not necessarily Decentraland projects, but they're mostly like NFT related.
Yeah, sure.
Like the majority of these teams probably don't even have 5 team members, you know what I mean, working on their actual project, ourselves included.
That's true, dude. That's a good point. That's a good point.
You know, so it's a 5-on-5 style soccer match.
Yeah.
So you need ringers, man. Fortunately for us, we have a pretty large community, you know, of like active. I call them. Well, some of them are gamers. We had a legitimate gamer, but he totally betrayed us. And, like played for Decentral Games.
Yeah.
But still, we have plenty of ringers to substitute.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and we had a good team, dude. I'm telling you, man. We prepared. We were on different servers.
Yeah, man. Break it down. Well, what the fuck happened out there, dude?
Yeah, I'll tell you. We were on different servers. We had all different colors. I mean, obviously, it depends on which. Like, you can be on Fenrir versus CN86. There's another one called Aphrodite or something like that. So we were on different servers. We weren't on just different colors.
Did y'all just like randomly select the servers?
No. We coordinated. Yeah, we coordinated.
Oh shit. Okay.
And I told everybody to like be there for practice, and they showed up. And you know, it's kind of weird because when practice starts, it doesn't really tell you that it's starting. It just like sort of just goes. And if you didn't click in on your character, then you weren't playing, and then you just wasted those practice. Yeah,
the practicing thing is rough. Like some teams literally got 0 practice and they had to just get thrown into the pit. You know, it was kind of that part of it was super uncoordinated. I don't know if that was intentional or not.
What I don't understand is why not allow people to practice whenever they want.
I guess for that reason, it'd just be like too one-sided for a team of like Decentraland, you know, all-stars. They'll spend all day in that bitch. I know they will.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, all day just grinding and practicing, and then like some fucking outsiders just gonna come in and get walloped, which is happening. There's plenty of
one-sided wins.
Yeah, dude, straight
like
anal
12-0.
There's plenty of that, you know.
So. Yeah, and so we were completely coordinated. Obviously, Corvin and I don't have the best of rigs. But at this point, it didn't really matter. When we were getting 60 frames per second, and we were good. I mean, we were fine. The thing that happened was in our first game, it got like super choppy. For some reason, once the game starts, it gets super choppy, super laggy. And sometimes it's not that laggy to where you can't hit the ball. But in our case, it got that laggy where everything was just like teleporting, right? The ball was just like teleporting.
Yeah.
And then Corv, he was just frozen the entire time. And so essentially it was like 5-on-4.
Yeah, it was. I was watching. It was 5-on-4. The central game team likes to throw out the excuse that one of our guys was like driving and playing at the same time, dude.
Oh, really?
First of all, that's extremely dangerous and like a hazard to society.
Yeah, for sure.
It shouldn't be happening. And second of all, That's still better than one man, not even being present,
Yeah,
basically. So I don't
exactly.
want to hear it, Essential games.
Yeah, so I'm not saying there's excuses, but man, I would have liked to play have another shot at Decentral Games, just for the, just so I could feel better that if we lose, I'm okay losing as long as it's fair. But in the case of the like lag, I didn't feel it was all that fair, but it's okay. It's really
Yeah.
not a big deal. But I,
But the fact that
I do want another shot though. Just
see the fact that there's something now in Decentraland that's like bringing that competitiveness out of you and a lot of other people is a good sign to
yeah,
me.
no,
You
absolutely.
know, like people actually give a fuck. There's actually some e-glory at stake. I really wanted Metazone to win, dude. I was getting
Yeah,
tired of all the shit talking from the community. You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's like, ooh, look at all these Metazone guys, dude. They have all these games. They think they know what they're talking about, and
Yeah, yeah,
then we lose.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's like you said, it's not in our hands, man. There's a lot of technical difficulties,
It's true,
but
man.
still,
I think if this was a little bit more stable game, that you would have had a much better fight. Because, like I said, we were prepared. It's just, man, if you can't move your character, what can you do? And it's
yeah,
not
there's
like
a
you can
lot of
refresh in the middle of the game. So,
yeah. It was a good look overall. You know, like I said, from like a progressive standpoint, like you were progressing towards something
yeah,
more universally appreciated, like this whole multiplayer, like competitive gaming esports realm. Like, dude, when you're out there, like, and you're on the sidelines looking in, you see these little astronauts
yeah.
playing soccer. It's like you could totally see this being like some kind of like a long-standing,
Oh,
you
for
know,
sure. For sure.
experience, like 100%.
Yeah. And then you can set up some bets, like smart contract bets that you're
People were
putting
actually
up.
doing that. I'm not
Yeah.
going to say who,
Yeah.
but I saw that kind of activity. Like, dude, man, isn't that crazy? Remember we were talking about this like 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah, we did.
Like we should called this shit. Like we're not gonna do it, but like someone's gonna set up bets like in our community, and that's exactly what happened,
It's
dude.
true.
Like they just started making bets,
Yeah.
and I think they actually used like some kind of like DeFi prediction platform or something like that,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
We
Like
gotta talk
Augur.
about DeFi too, by the way.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So yeah, I totally agree. I think the multiplayer aspect is such a game changer from the standpoint of wanting to play in Decentraland and wanting to be there and wanting to compete. Like that's, man, it changes everything. I legitimately wanted to continue playing, like,
Yeah,
and continue like competing. But man, like I said, if there was this game was a little bit more stable, it would have been a lot more fun and a lot more entertaining. Like at least from the viewer's perspective, because I know you guys were probably seeing equally as choppy gameplay.
yeah,
But
yeah. It was all about being in the right server, basically.
yeah,
You know, as isolated as possible.
and then in the second game, man, we dominated 6-0.
Yeah,
You remember
because
that?
Oscar's he finally got his shit figured out, right?
Yeah,
Well, there you
because
go.
I told them as soon as the game ended, I was like, everybody refresh. And once we refreshed, the game started, and then it was like smooth sailing.
Yeah, I saw that, dude.
And not only that, the team that we beat, I forget the name, but we were all gonna jump in and take their spots in the next in the third round.
Saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, against the Central
Why
Games.
though?
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, just because we wanted to play them again. And I think over half of us actually took a spot, and they're like, "Nah, man, let's just let them play," and then we just jumped out.
Damn, dude, straight renegades, huh?
Yeah, man.
Like give zero fucks, dude. It's like this is our house, dude. We take our places when we want.
Yeah, I mean,
I saw it and I was like, damn. I thought it was a pretty ballsy move.
yeah. I
You
mean,
know?
I told everybody to do it. Just click on a character, jump in. Let's just play the Central Games again. But the better head prevailed, and that team they put up a good fight too. I mean, they lost 2-3, so
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were so close, man. I forgot his name, but there's one dude who really came back and like almost iced it for them, but
yeah,
couldn't do it, man. It's just the e gods weren't on your side, man.
yeah,
It just wasn't meant to be, dude. But whatever, we got some sweet jerseys out of it.
yeah. We did. Yeah,
A lot of
man.
our community members did. Those jerseys are like it's ridiculous what's going on with those things, dude.
It
They sell
is.
out in like 10 seconds.
It is ridiculous.
I was there today, like trying to purchase. I had like nine failed,
Wallets?
yeah, like
Oh.
nine transactions, and they all failed. You
Did
know,
you pay for like the most gas?
yeah, but you gotta do like double that now, or something. You gotta like customize it and like double the fast
Oh
amount. It's the
damn.
only way you're gonna even get a chance to get accepted. You know, it's absurd, man. It's fucking
So you can't
absurd.
even select fast, and that's not even fast enough.
It's not good enough.
Damn.
That's what I did, dude, on all nine of them, and they got rejected, all of them. You know, they all got stuck in pending, and about 5 minutes later, all
So
failed,
I understand why
rejected.
that happens when it comes to smart contracts. Like you can create a cool user interface, one that interacts with the smart contract. In this case, the user interface is Decentraland, and but you don't have to use the interface to interact with the smart contract. You can go directly to the smart contract and purchase the content that it's holding.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably somebody created a script and probably purchased everything.
Most likely HP.
It's possible, but I think he was involved to where he got shirts without having to buy the shirts. I mean,
Possibly,
so
probably, yeah, because he already has like the whole line of shirts for sale, like on OpenSea. He had that from
yeah,
like a couple days ago, like
yeah, yeah.
so he was
He
ready
had
to
it.
go. But
It's
I see what
okay.
you're saying. If there's any kind of system like that that's open, someone's gonna figure out how to game it
Oh, for sure.
every time. That's just
Yeah,
the way it is.
yeah, for sure.
And it's unfortunate. It leaves like a lot of like people, like the average user,
Yeah,
they
the
leave
user.
they
Yeah,
leave salty.
yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this shit? You guys are coming. You guys are telling us to come to this event, and you're like telling us there's gonna be jerseys, and then none of us get one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Instead, whoever the most technical people are, they leave with the bag.
Yep.
That's just the reality of life, dude. It's pretty rough out there.
I don't know,
But I mean,
man. The reason why they do this is because they're valuable, and the reason why they're valuable is because people want them.
mm-hmm.
So, I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, there's only 100 per team,
Yeah.
so that's it. 100's pretty rare, dude. Like I've given away some legendaries in our tournaments. They're not cheap.
Yeah. They're
You
like
know, they
about
made it start off cheap whenever they were first minted, but like a couple months down the line, I think they probably like doubled or something in value.
yeah. So how much? Like 2,000 mana?
Around 2,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he gave away pretty much like any piece of that Raver set is around 2,000 mana or something.
So how much is that? Like $80? Yeah, it's about 80
Yeah,
bucks.
exactly.
About 4 cents a mana.
Yeah. Hey man,
Yeah.
not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, I guess.
That's groceries for a week.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Just for showing up. Where else
So
is that going to happen?
one of the realizations that we made is after playing the game, the soccer tournament, we were like, dude, multiplayer is where it's at. So we're gonna update all
Yeah,
our
I never
games.
got y'all's opinions on that yet.
Yeah,
Any kind of like realizations.
we we're definitely gonna update all our games like Pack Runner and Block Runner and all that to support peer to peer. And so now everything's gonna be synced. It's gonna take a little bit of time because we have to figure out how to do it, and then on top of that, we have to like test it out and everything. But the
Mm.
idea is what we had, several months ago. The idea is everybody will be able to jump in on Block Runner and just start jumping walls all at the same time and jumping the same wall because everybody sees the same thing. And we'll have like a jump off and last man wins, and that's it.
Hmm.
Just like
That sounds fun.
yeah, just like we there's an audience for the soccer tournament. We would expect the audience for these our games as well.
Yeah, it just takes like a lot of coordination.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there would have to be a singular event where we get like 10 players or so to do a jump off and
But I mean, hey man, you can't expect the same turnout as the
oh
soccer
no,
tournament.
no, definitely not.
80% of the people were there for the NFTs
Yeah,
only.
for sure. I agree.
Only, literally, they log in, they wait for these things to drop, and they log right back out. They're not
Yeah,
interested in like trying to witness
it's like a tournament.
yeah. But the 20% are. So my point is, if you're trying to like bring in like as far as like spectators and shit,
Yeah,
at this phase of you know where we are as a community, they have to be kind of like goaded to come in. You know what I mean? You got to put a carrot in front of them a little bit, like, hey, we got NFTs over here, or else the majority
yeah.
won't show up. You know.
It seems a little odd because if you keep this up, you're just going to be generating more T-shirts, and then what's the value of these T-shirts, right?
Well, that's just what people want right now, and it's part of the conversation of like we had a conference with some DeFi guys. They just that Maddie
Oh
organized.
yeah, dude, that was such a good conversation. I could have kept going.
I agree, but something I took away that was kind of interesting. Like we went into that conversation expecting it to be 100% on DeFi, but like at some point midway during the conversation, these guys are like, you know what? Like, dude, this shit's kind of boring. Like DeFi. It's like we want to know more about Decentraland. Like, 'cause that sounds way more exciting. You guys are about to have like this big soccer tournament. You got like fucking,
Yeah.
I don't know. You got like fucking skeleton dudes walking around and shit. Like that's way more interesting than
Then
DeFi.
getting 1% interest rate
Yeah,
APR.
but exactly. It's like, oh man, it's like I promise you, like an extra 0.5% is like
Yeah,
buy
yeah,
my
yeah.
token. Like
Yeah.
that's what's going on in this space. But
See,
if it's so boring compared to like what's going on here in the metaverse, like why is all the investor interest over there then?
yeah.
None of
Well,
it's over here.
here's the thing: is DeFi applies to the world. Well, I guess in this case, gaming. In the case of Decentraland, it applies to gamers for the most part. But DeFi, it underpins like the financial infrastructure, and if we can just dissolve banking with DeFi, that's a big deal. That's something
See,
worth
okay,
investing.
but you're part of that 20% who shows up to the events at Decentraland,
Oh yeah,
regardless if there's an NFT there.
yeah. I want to.
So,
I want to see who wins.
yeah, but see, you're representative of the type of people who aren't going to be goaded or carried on a stick
Yeah,
to
definitely
an
not.
event. You know,
Definitely
you're there
not.
for the tech. You're there for the progression, the
Yeah, yeah,
innovation. That's you. But the 80% of the people that I'm seeing come to these events only there for the carrot.
yeah.
You know, that's what's going on in DeFi. That's what I'm noticing. There's a new bubble forming in the DeFi space. Like all these protocols are releasing their governance tokens,
Sure,
and
sure.
all of a sudden everyone's running out there to like support their new shitcoin
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
essentially because now they put out a whole new pile of carrots for
Yeah, yeah.
people to like onboard and become shills,
Dude,
So
you're
that,
so right, man. That's exactly what's happening.
yeah.
I know which
And,
token you're talking about. I don't know if we should mention it.
but there's several of them. I've
Oh yeah,
been
there
deep
is now.
diving deep because it's the same shit that happened in 2017, man. That's how I made all that money, dude. It's just like hop on the right shitcoin, you're gonna do good.
Yeah, yeah.
But but 80% of the market is that is those people.
Yeah.
That's actually what drives the
Damn,
market,
that makes a lot of sense, dude.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because like the tech gets neglected and like nobody gives a shit about it. It's all about like the hype and like what's the mania of the day.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm over here thinking about how do we improve Moonshot, the soccer tournament, so that it's not laggy. And
Mm-hmm.
like one of the things is making a client and running the game off of a client. So you're utilizing the hardware on your computer instead of
Yeah,
just
that sounds great.
yeah, but that has nothing to do with the NFTs, the main reason why everybody's there.
Yeah, I agree. So I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it's just the
Yeah.
market we're in right now. That's just the phase we're in. If you want people to show up, you better give them something in return, or at least the possibility to
Yeah,
have.
it's not a bad thing, but damn, man.
It's not a bad thing. It's actually part of the game. It's part of the game of Decentraland. I think it's in order for like this, like we talk about it all the time, this trilemma. How the fuck are you gonna get people to actually log on and like onboard into this ecosystem? There has to be like an economy, an exchange of value for their time, right?
See, you know, all the participants in the soccer tournament, they all got jerseys or shirts, right?
Yeah, true.
What if the only way you could get a shirt is if you participate in the game?
Meaning like
How
only the 5 players get it.
only the 5 players?
Yeah,
How valuable do you think those jerseys would be?
they'd be insanely valuable.
Exactly.
More valuable than a mythic. They'd
Yes.
have their own category of valuability, like freaking immortals or something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, because you'd have to participate. And
Yeah.
I think that's where wearables are going to go because once it's open to the open market where anybody can generate wearables, the ones that retain the value are the ones that you had to put some effort into getting.
Hmm.
And I don't know. I
So
don't.
these, I guess the effort here, there's some effort involved in getting these. I mean, you got to show up on time,
Well,
and you got to,
clearly not anymore. You just have to know how to code. Oh,
if
not even code, but
if what you're saying is true, then that's different.
yeah.
But that again, that's effort. Like those guys, essentially, they've gamified the way to obtain these jerseys, because it wasn't like this on day 1 and 2. It just got progressively got worse and worse as the days went by. You know, it got harder and harder.
Yeah.
You were less likely to actually get one.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like more people are out there. I think, in the contrary, less people are out there than there were on day 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
that's true.
I see this. So I don't know what's happening. People are just they're learning the game, and they're becoming experts at it.
They're gaming it.
The people willing to be the best at the game, they're being rewarded.
Yeah.
So they're going to set the market price. Like, more, they're going to have the majority of the supply is going to be in the hands of a few people, and then they're just going to like inflate the market.
Yeah.
That's just is what it is.
Yeah.
Which is perfectly fine, man. Open market, man. It's fine.
See, that's what I think. It's like if you can generate any wearable, let's say anybody can generate a wearable, there's going to be less incentive to get that wearable. But if you have to do some work, like actual work, not necessarily just go into a smart contract and like just pay the gas fees to get your wearable, but you have to perform some action within Decentraland. That's going to be valuable, and I think that's going to be the economy of Decentraland in the future.
So what do you think would happen to these shirts if there was no limit to the supply? Like those COVID masks, there's like 1,000 or more per mask. Yeah, so like what if there's 1,000 or more per jersey? Like, would anybody give a fuck about these things?
Well, that's the point, is that if there's 1,000, that means, so assuming that you had to do some work to get 1,000 of these jerseys out there, they're going to have some value because you couldn't just make them anymore. You have to earn them, right? If you earn them, then there's a base value. Like, for example, Bullion X, those NFTs are backed by gold, right? A single gram of gold. So they have a very base value. So it's the same thing. The base value for these future NFTs is going to be the work that it took to get them.
Yeah, but there's no way to quantify that.
No, there isn't. But the market will say,
subjective.
"Hey, you won." For example, the Moonshot trophy, the NFT trophy that the winners are going to get. That is going to be really valuable because only a few.
Interesting.
Yeah, only a few have it.
Yeah, if it's a true NFT, that means like they could literally just throw it out in the market, and some whale could just buy it, if they really wanted to, and then just display it in their house.
Yeah,
it's theirs.
Yeah,
it's now their trophy. But like, who the fuck would want that? But I say that, but people buy like these Super Bowl rings and shit off of like pawn shops and stuff. Like, it happens all the time in the real world open market, right?
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want a Super Bowl ring?
Yeah, if you have the money, right?
Yeah, if you have the money, yeah.
It's just another thing to flex with. Like, oh man, look, I got Tom Brady's original ring, even though I'm sure he never sold any of his rings.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
But if you could get your hands on one, you would.
Fuck yeah, dude! I'd pay like God tiers amount of money.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what's gonna be interesting.
I think that's what's gonna happen with these trophies. I don't think the winners are gonna sell them at all. They're just gonna keep them.
Yeah, but I guess my point is that there's that, and then there's this. What's going on right now, where it's just the mint out of thin air approach and put them out there and use them as like marketing tools, essentially.
Yeah.
Bring people in, build up hype. And unfortunately, 80% of the people are there. They're not going to stick around for like an entire event. They're just going to come and go and get what they want.
Yeah.
But, at least it's going to give you that nice little Twitter op. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, for sure.
Look at all these people who showed up for our soccer tournament. Really, they're here for the shirts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is, so like we're dealing with that. The OG crypto guys dealt with that. That's why like every bull and bear cycle, they're always like, okay, 80% of the population leaves during a bear market, but the 20% that sticks around, those are the people who
continue building,
and they're the ones who are going to really benefit, and they're the ones who are going to really profit at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
That's right.
It's the same shit. It's just human behavior. Doesn't matter what sector you're in. It's just the way it is.
That makes a lot of sense, dude. And like you're saying, we're seeing that with DeFi community coming out with their own coins, and you're right. Those coins are probably gonna like shoot up in value, and
Yeah, man.
if you're in early, then you're gonna profit. But
Yeah,
those
I'm
guys
real.
are still building something infrastructure wise that's gonna be important for the future.
I agree. There's a definite use case for this. Like, I mean, we're going all the way in. We're going balls deep into this whole, debankify society movement, dude.
Yeah,
Like that's what DeFi is.
yeah,
Like we started just with like, the transfer of money, but now we need like all the banking services
that's
with
right.
it.
That's right.
Lending and borrowing and
Collateral.
collateralizing and
Yeah,
all that shit. Even non-collateral, like someone's gonna have to figure out how to work unsecured lending.
yeah,
How do we either replicate the traditional models or we use things like Chainlink to get like real world data and verify people's like credit worthiness,
right,
you know?
right.
Or do we create our own system where it doesn't require like a history of credit or income, like
Yeah, how could you lend somebody money who doesn't have like either history, like provable history, or some
or
collateral?
collateral? Yeah,
Like,
but
how
we
would you
do it
do
all the
it?
time in the traditional
Yeah, we
world,
do. Which is,
so,
I
which is
don't know.
crazy.
Yeah, they're gambling, right?
Yeah, but it works, man,
But
and
you know
it's
what?
actually
You know how it works is reputation, right? Their
yeah,
reputation gets hit or credit.
your credit. But a
Yeah.
lot of people don't give a fuck, do they? Just take the hit. I've seen it like working in the subprime industry for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, people take like bad loans and they just let them burn.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
but
but
so the
then
banks
the next
take.
loan that they get is just going to be even worse.
Yeah, so that's it. And then there's like a whole banking sector that profits off of those high interest rates.
Yeah.
Credit cards, like the whole subprime market. Like I said, the big banks don't want to deal with these people,
Sure, sure.
but like the little banks will. You know,
Yeah.
they'll take on these bad loans and then they'll repackage them and like send them for like the Wall Street guys to speculate on
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
crash entire economies.
Yeah. Like they did in 2007.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's so much shit going on, dude. It's like it's too much to keep up. But like I finally stepped out of like the Decentraland world a little bit
Mm-hmm.
for once in like the last 6 months or so.
Yeah.
To kind of like because now DeFi is like peaking again, so like I gotta find out more. And it's like fuck, man. Like we're missing out on a lot of other shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
we have some mad tunnel vision right now for good reason, but it's like I don't know. My person, I like to be aware of like everything as much as I
Oh yeah,
can.
for sure.
You know?
And the reason why we're talking about this is because the community brought it up. There was a token
Yeah.
that went up like I don't know 50% in a day, and it was a token that was just released like within that week,
Hmm.
and then a couple days later it went up like 100%, and it's like whoa, what the hell is this? It's like oh, this is a coin for DeFi, and it's like what's going on? Like why is there a coin now for DeFi? It's like oh, because they're launching a DAO, and that's how you're gonna stake your own. I don't want to say reputation, but your vote on what happens with that cryptocurrency with the DAO. Like for example, if you have DAI, then you can vote on which token is going to be used as a collateral. Like for example, BAT, Basic Attention Token, was recently added to Compound, and
Mm.
they had like 24% interest. I was like, well,
Wow.
I better move my BATs into that. And then within the week, it went from 24% to like 0.1%.
Yep.
So it's because everybody did exactly what I did.
Yep.
And like within a few days, it went from like $0 in interest, $0 like liquidity to like 300 million.
Mm-hmm.
$300 million of BAT. Imagine that.
Yeah, it's getting crazy, dude. Like, and I think a lot of it has to do with like these new decentralized exchange protocols, like Uniswap
Yeah.
or whatever else is out there, maybe Kyber. Like they're creating like new gateways or new pathways for like these new projects to kind of like get community.
That's true. I mean, think about it. I remember when a Matic went up to like 4 cents, and it was like it was like an exponential growth like within a week. And you were telling me to exit, right? And I didn't because I was trying to figure out how to sell it.
Mm.
And I couldn't sell it because the way that I got my Matic was through Binance, and it was through
Oh
Binance
yeah.
when it was okay to get, it was okay to get through Binance, right?
Yeah,
Now,
because we're U.S.
because we're
customers.
U.S. customers, right? So then I was like trying to figure out in real time when this coin was popping off, and I'm trying to sell it. I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of it. And but now, knowing now, you could just flip it on Uniswap,
Hmm.
switch it for ETH, and then it's an easy transaction.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the stuff, like you're saying, those atomic swaps, it's gonna play a major role in a lot of these compound tokens and DeFi
Yeah, we saw
tokens.
it today with something as small as the SLP potions for the Axie game.
Right.
Bro, that thing is like a $60,000 market cap token. It's an in-app purchased NFT essentially,
Yeah.
which is very relevant to us because we're probably going to have similar
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
in-app. Well, not us. The Ethermon game is going to have similar in-app
Right.
NFTs. So it's
Right.
nice to see like a market get such traction. It was a 900% rise in one day, which sounds ridiculous on face value because 900% in one day, what the fuck does that? But then you look at the market cap, it's like you could do
60K.
that. You could do that with a car, like throw a car into the market and the market just explodes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But still, the reason why that thing exists is because of this Uniswap protocol. Like any project now can now just enter this market and like test out their.
Yeah. You're never gonna go to like what's one of the exchanges,
Like
like
a centralized
a
exchange.
centralized exchange. Yeah, you're never gonna see ETH to SLP.
No, exactly. Is they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
For one, the Axie team probably doesn't have enough money to pay whatever kind of
That's right.
listing fees they're asking these days, which I'm sure are insane. And for two, there's just not enough volume for the exchange to support it. Like, why
Yeah.
would they?
Yeah. Why do
But
it
the
for a
decentralized
60K?
exchange doesn't give a fuck about any of that. It's
Yeah.
decentralized. Like,
That's right.
it's run by its community of contributors to the liquidity pool.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why it's like these are like the beginning stages. We're starting to see like all these DeFi projects. They're figuring it out. We've been talking about DeFi for months now.
Yeah.
But whenever we first heard about it, there were no tokens, dude. And that's why we were kind of like speculating, like
That's right.
we're like, what's going to cause the next FOMO like ICOs did?
You,
And we're like, well, it's definitely not DeFi because there's no tokens.
there's no token. Yeah.
But we were wrong, dude.
Yeah,
The tokens are coming, dude.
dude.
The tokens are coming.
But you know
and
what? We didn't think about it because they need a token in order to be able to stake their votes. If they don't
Yeah.
have tokens, how can they vote? How can they do a DAO without a token?
Yeah, we didn't understand how DAOs worked at the time.
Yeah.
We just heard about it, and then Decentraland kind of educated us on what a DAO is.
Yeah.
So now we understand like there needs to be some kind of token in order for the community to weigh their votes and yada yada yada. But yeah, I was not anticipating like DeFi to have like because okay, we're calling these governance tokens, but in reality, what they are speculative tools.
Yeah, for sure.
They're tools for the community to speculate with.
Yeah, this is the 80%.
Nobody gives it exactly.
Yeah,
this is the 80%. The 80% gives zero fucks about what's going on in the governance layer of like any of these DAOs.
Yeah.
They only care about what's going up and down in value.
That's so true, dude. That's so true.
Yeah. So we're seeing that in DeFi. Like all these NFT wearables, they're basically our speculative tools that like Decentraland's creating.
Damn, that's crazy, man.
For the 80% to like create FOMO,
See, yeah, that's a big time realization there, Iman.
I think so too, dude.
So that means MetaZone will need an 80% rule too.
Well, that's why I told you that. Like it's all nice and peachy whenever you're like, okay, we're gonna switch our games to like multiplayer.
Yeah, that's true.
That's your brain thinking, which is the right way to think if you're trying to make like actual progress.
Yeah.
But like I said, the 80% is not gonna give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? The 80% is only gonna care if you like.
Oh shit, you're
put
so
out
right,
a
dude.
stand in front with an NFT for sale sign. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what drives the market, dude.
Yeah. But is that sustainable growth though? Can you sustain a business, sustain a project with that? I guess others have done it.
I think so. Yeah, like
EOS.
Pretty much every project that still exists because of that. The ICO boom.
See, the work that backs that token is what fuels the speculation. Remember that? Because like in EOS, I think it maxed out at $24, and right now it's at $2.
Yep.
And it's at $2 because people are start losing. Well, for the most part, it's like market forces, but also the fact that people don't really think EOS is going to come out with anything special. So they're like, this coin is it's a shit coin.
I mean, they already came out with everything they could have come out in 2018. Like, all the hype happened because, like, once the mainnet is out, like, nobody gives a fuck anymore. Like, right now, Cardano is surging, and it's like the talk of the town because they're about to create and release their mainnet after 4 or 5 years of delay. Nobody cares that it took them 4 or 5 years to like launch this barely better product than what EOS already is.
Right.
Like,
so they're gonna. Here's the thing. So you're saying they're gonna launch. Everybody's gonna sell their bags, and that's it. It's just gonna.
And that's it.
And then
they're gonna go through the same shit. Like, dude, nobody's jumping ship from Ethereum to these other blockchains, dude.
Yeah.
All the devs are in Ethereum.
Yeah.
They're diehard, dude. They're not leaving. Yeah. That's what I keep telling these people. These people ask, like, oh, why would you invest in Ethereum? It's a shit coin that like can't scale, and look at these gas fees.
Yeah, but where are the devs?
That's the answer. Yeah. Who has the devs? Ethereum has the devs.
They do.
They really do. It's insane how much is being built on Ethereum. Unfortunately, most of it, I mean, it works. It just works very poorly. Because of the
gas fees,
infrastructure. Yeah. So I mean, we'll see what happens down the line. Hopefully, this all gets figured out. But my point is, EOS is like dead in the water because their hype is gone. They've already spent all their hype. That's why they generated $4 billion.
Remember, we recorded a podcast, listening to their presentation about voice.
Yeah,
and we didn't know what they were about to release. We were like, man, this is gonna be the next big thing, like social media, like decentralized ownership of identity and all that stuff. And it's like, it's just like a blog platform.
Yeah,
I mean, it was nothing.
It's for $4 billion. Like, it's something if it was just like some standalone project. You know what I mean? Like some standalone ICO, like we're creating this whole new social media Twitter competitor. You know, it's kind of like Reddit, but not really.
Yeah.
Earn money for your opinions and likes and shit. Like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
like,
and we were the first ones to sign up too. Like, we were like refreshing the page right afterwards, and like we signed up, and like I tried it, and it was just like, there's nothing different.
Yeah, you can't live up to that hype, dude. You can't live up, dude. That's the thing. EOS killed themselves because they raised $4 billion.
Yeah,
they can't do anything ever again to like generate that
to
kind
live
of
up
hype.
to that. Yeah,
yeah. So like that project, unfortunately, probably Dunsky's. Unless they do.
I mean, we were talking about them last week, and we're like, we can't sleep on them because they have $4 billion, right?
But never sleep.
But you're right. I mean, the numbers reflect the speculation mania. And if, like, for example, EOS doesn't have anything to speculate on, like another release, another product, another project, whatever it is, if there's no speculation, it's never going to do anything.
Yeah, I agree. And Decentraland faces that dilemma too, probably. I almost bet, like, there's nothing we could do as a community to kind of, like, catapult this platform as far as, like, hype.
Yeah.
What do you think it'll take for, like, we're doing, because we're in the community and we're seeing all this, like, dude, there's been insane growth in the last 4 months.
Yeah, for sure.
It's absurd, actually, when you compare it to like other crypto projects.
Yeah, but I think the real meat and bones of any project is progress. And we're seeing a lot of progress. I mean, not only on ourselves, but within the community.
Yeah, I just think we're just not in that phase as a sector, like the crypto sector, the blockchain space, where people care about that.
Oh, no. I mean? I totally agree. But that's what matters, though. In my opinion,
you're right.
That's what matters. Like, think about it. If Decentraland ends up being like $1 billion economy in the sense that creators are generating like hundreds of millions of dollars, kind of like what they did in Second Life, that's newsworthy. That's a big deal. That's sustainable. That's like long term. That Decentraland will be here, in 25 years.
Yeah,
so you can't say the same about EOS.
What do you mean?
Like in the sense is that if they don't have like an economy, they don't have like sustainable like growth, then they could easily disappear.
Well, I mean, there's projects being built on EOS, like You know what I mean? Like EOS is not gonna die. I don't think. Like I said this last week, I think EOS has more potential to if somebody creates
Surprise.
like a killer app
Yeah.
that's like more geared and better at onboarding. Like if somebody builds like a legit Minecraft on EOS to where like, we talked about this at that DeFi conference. Like the biggest problem and why we'll probably won't see kids anytime soon in Decentraland is that Ethereum is just not like a user friendly
Mm.
protocol. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to deal with gas. Nobody wants to deal with wallets. None of that shit. Nobody wants to deal with like 100-character addresses and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
I know there's solutions to that now, but nobody wants to find those solutions and deal with that. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean? Everyone wants like at the click of a button, I push the on button and I'm in. I'm immersed. I'm connected.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
let's assume we get rid of all the 100 character and all the friction to get into Decentraland. There's still not a whole lot to do.
Well, yeah, I agree. But like
So
let's assume there's a fully built out like every piece of land has content and it's all cool shit.
see, but that's the
Like
problem is that
the crypto
you can't
people love
assume
it.
that.
Huh?
You
Yeah,
can't
what
assume that.
but for this scenario is what I'm saying. Do you think kids are gonna come on to experience all the shit that people have created?
Well, for the most part, there aren't any kids in Decentraland.
That's yeah, well, that's what I'm getting at. Why? Why are there no kids? Hey, but if you're trying to,
Well, because there's no content. That's why.
no, but that's what it can't be just content, dude. Because
Well, yeah, it can't be just content because if there was content, kids couldn't come in because they don't have money to create a wallet and all that stuff.
and they just don't want to deal with that. I don't think.
I
You
agree.
know,
I agree.
and that's why that guy during that conference asked that question. That was like he's like a VC, like because VCs think like this. They know where the money is.
Yeah.
The money's in kids. The money's not in like selling shit to each other like all of us crypto guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can make money there, but you're not gonna have like a true $1 billion plus enterprise until you can get kids in. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
but let's say there was a wallet that you can just like launch on your browser that didn't give you all the headaches of like 100 characters and gas and all that stuff. Let's assume that was there. Kids are not going to come into Decentraland.
Yeah, not currently, but if you have that in tandem with the
With
content,
progress, yes.
yeah,
I
dude,
agree.
that's a home run.
Yeah,
feel
but
like.
to say let's invest in that project, I don't know if it makes sense in the context of Decentraland. I don't think just making things easier to onboard is enough.
No, and it's almost like outside of our hands. Like that's not really, we can't really do much as a community in that regards.
Yeah.
We just it's like an unfortunate reality of where we are, and like people like Clark are proposing like, yo, maybe we need to like pick up everything here and like move it to a new blockchain. Who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe that is a potential solution, but I don't know.
It's tough because if we want to just like copy and paste onto another blockchain, just because the gas fees are zero, I don't know if that's going to change anything. Decentraland,
From a user perspective, it'll change everything, dude. Like,
yeah, but Decentraland is what it is, not because of gas fees.
mm-hmm.
It's more than that. It's like I don't know, maybe potentially belief in it or
Yes,
understanding like what ownership is.
So that's important to talk about then, because then it's more like let's ditch like the whole like trying to be like maximum capitalists and like going after these target demographics like a traditional company would, right?
Yeah.
Like how do we get the kids involved? How do we
yeah.
reach these kids?
Yeah.
Then you kind of think of it more of like, what are we doing from a philosophical perspective? Like,
yeah. It's
more of like a social experiment than anything.
Would you
know
say
I mean?
that the Moonshot tournament it has a lot of competitions? Like there's a lot of competitors like taking it seriously.
What do you mean?
My question is, do you think there are some players who are taking the tournament seriously?
Yeah, I think so.
Why do you think that is?
Just like what's the word I'm looking for? Like pride, like
so
they want to be recognized as like good. Like I bet you Red gets a kick out of like everybody. Like he's identified now in the community as he's that guy.
Yeah.
He's that gamer guy that like everybody wants in their team, right? Like we made a big deal about it whenever we found out he wasn't playing for us.
Yeah.
I'm sure that inflates his ego a little bit. It's like, hey, I feel appreciated, right?
Yeah.
Like That's nice. I'm sure it's a nice feeling.
But the grind is for the reward. The
What do you mean?
reward, so the reward in this case is that trophy at the very end. But
Okay, yeah,
in some cases, the reward is that e-glory, the fact that everybody
yeah,
knows who you are.
100% reputation.
So, would you say that a lot of gamers have that attribute,
Yeah, I think
right?
the
Okay.
majority of them do. Yeah.
So here's where I'm going with this.
Okay.
So if we understand that that attribute exists, and there's a lot of gamers playing Call of Duty, playing World of Warcraft, playing all these games because of e-glory. Imagine if they found out there was actual tangible rewards just to be a guy playing a game that you can earn NFTs or mana or whatever it is. Imagine if the gaming community knew that that was possible now in gaming. What do you think they would do?
Yeah.
So that's what
Uh,
that's so that's sort of like what
that's
what I'm
yeah.
saying is like if the gamer knew what's possible now, because they don't. They generally don't know NFTs exist. They don't know that there's games associated with cryptocurrency. They don't know this stuff. And what I'm saying
Hmm.
is if they did know, they would be
Hmm.
here in waves.
Yeah. No, for sure. There's going to be those guys, and I guess that's more like the natural, like
It's like us. Like
that's
I don't
that's
know.
probably yeah.
I'm just gonna say I don't generally play games. I used to a lot when I was younger. Call of Duty, including, all these games I used to play a lot. But now that I have like this context, this perspective that gaming in general, like Call of Duty, yields nothing for the
Mm.
most part. Maybe the top 0.05% end up doing like esports and end up winning millions of dollars. But the chances of that for, you know, the general population is practically zero, right?
It's
But
very low. Yeah.
with this perspective that you can play a game and earn just by being there, just by showing up, I mean that has more incentives for the general population to get involved than just regular gaming.
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is if we get the gamers, if we educate the gamers, I think that's going to bring in more people. And once we bring in more eyeballs, the developers come as well.
Yeah. I'm interested to see if that's true or not, man. Like I'm not seeing it yet, and I've pitched this idea to every gamer I know in my
Yeah.
personal life. They give zero fucks about it.
Yeah.
You know, they're not coming home from their like 8 hour shift at work to kind of like find another way to make money. They're coming home to like relax and play something they actually really truly enjoy, or like that escape.
Yeah, I
They're
guess you're
looking for that
right.
escape.
That's
That's all they
true.
care about.
That's true. If they want to like the entertainment aspect of gaming.
Exactly. But that's fine. There's that, and that's totally warranted. And there's definitely a market for that.
Yeah.
But like what we've been talking about, there's also that part where that portion of civilization that's not talked about much.
Yeah.
It's kind of like ignored, and they don't have that 8 hour shift part of their day.
Yeah,
You
the
know what I
billions
mean?
of people who
The
are
billions of people who are forgotten in our world.
yeah.
But they still have a computer and they have connection to the internet. Maybe that's our true market.
It's true.
Maybe those are the people who are gonna recognize that value better
Yeah.
than like. I think that's also, again, that's another correlation or parallel to like the rest of the crypto space. The people who tend to appreciate this whole decentralization technology are like people from, you know,
Oh yeah, from
poorer
poorer
countries.
countries, yeah, who don't have a stable financial system.
Yeah, they don't have the luxuries we do, right? Like we just pull out our fucking plastic magic card
Yeah.
and just swipe it all over the place and just start buying things.
Yeah.
Like everything's just handled for us, the
Yeah.
banking infrastructure. So that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think clearly there's, with all this progress that Decentraland has made, there still needs to be more, but I don't know how much more could have been accomplished in these last 4 months than what has been. So,
Yeah.
I mean, this is good.
Yeah, but I
Think about
agree.
it.
Like I said, we're part of that 20%, so we're happy.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
us is the 20%. Like, we're fucking ecstatic what we're seeing.
That's
Like,
true.
4 months ago, dude, we were like rock bottom. Like, we were hating life. We were like, fuck, dude, we made the biggest mistake ever, dude. Like,
Yeah.
why did we build MetaZone?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what were we thinking? This
Yeah.
is going nowhere. But 4 months later, there's like, it's a complete 180. Like, fuck, MetaZone's working.
Yeah.
Decentraland is popping. People are loving it.
Yeah. If we
There's
were,
actually some cool shit to do now.
you're right. If we were part of the 80%, we'd be like, this is a waste, right?
Yeah, we'd be over there like flipping DeFi tokens.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what
right.
I'm talking about.
Having said that, I think it is worth to investigate like the 20% value of these DeFi tokens. Maybe because it does represent a pillar of financial infrastructure that they might have some actual value and an actual team pushing its purpose. And so it does warrant an investigation. They say that any coin that's not Bitcoin is a shit coin. So, there's probably a coin out there that's worth, investigation, and probably Compound or any of these DeFi tokens is at least worth, looking into.
I agree. And like I said, just for the sake of those people who are the forgotten people, like they need stuff like this.
Yeah.
You know? And who knows, like the infrastructure that we rely on so much, that we're so comfortable with, could not exist 5-10 years from now.
Yeah.
Or if it is, it's a much crappier version of what it is today, to where like now we can lean on this technology that's being built today,
Yeah, for sure.
Who knows, man? I don't know. So you're right. Yeah, we have to broaden our vision a little bit, and like recognize there's so much more going on in our space, or in our sector. Like, we're not just in,
Yeah, we don't want to just focus on Decentraland just because there's so much going on.
And we're like so personally invested. Like, we also want to be aware of like what the rest of the community is working on,
Yeah.
So we got like I think it's confirmed we have an interview in the pipeline a couple of weeks from now from like a DeFi project, right, Will?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, so we're working on kind of nailing a date for that.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know anything about it, honestly. I think they reached out to you, right?
Yeah, they did.
So to me, that's kind of like our kickstart into this, what I'm talking about, this broadening our perspective.
Yeah, I mean that's what we did in the past before we got like so heavily into Decentraland, and I think it's something that we should continue to sustain, just because I remember when we talked about Compound so many months ago, it introduced a lot of people into this idea and earning interest and all that it's worth it to continue exploring all these other cryptocurrencies and their purpose, because you never know. Like, there might be an actual use case and actual value of a token that you might want to have and use, just like we use mana almost on a daily basis now.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say that there isn't another cryptocurrency that you're going to start using on a daily basis?
Yeah, and also who's to say, like, we kind of touched on this in the conference, like, who's to say there aren't like some kind of DeFi principles that can be applied to Decentraland,
That's right.
And it makes sense. Like, Decentraland, if it's truly going to be like a true metaverse where it's like a parallel virtual universe, there's going to need to be a financial infrastructure in that virtual universe at some point.
Yeah.
So like there's going to be some kind of DeFi integration down the line.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Has to be. People are going to want loans in the metaverse.
Yeah.
People are going to want to, stake their land or stake their metas into some kind of lending platform so that they could go gamble at the fucking casino, like go lose all their assets. That shit happens today. You really think it's not going to happen in the digital world? We're still humans, just because we're like traversing into a whole new dimension.
Yeah, we're like teleporting.
We're still bringing this with us, dude.
Yeah, that's right.
We're bringing all our faults along with us,
Yeah.
We're not getting any better, We're just moving somewhere else.
Yeah, so clearly there's still a long way to go, but and one of the things that we're contributing also is, with this Ethermon project, the persistent gaming. So it's not necessarily a multiplayer action shooter like maybe the Moonshot game is, the soccer tournament, but it's more of a slow burn, grinded out type of gameplay that I think will keep people in Decentraland. But that's like you're saying, that satisfies those 20%ers, right?
What does?
The slow burn gaming aspect of Decentraland versus the high yield. Let's try to figure out ways to, increase the value of mana, 100% in one day.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
but the thing about Ethermon is there's still that grab for the 80%, meaning like
yeah, I see what you're
you
saying.
have to participate. You have to follow the rules of the game, which in order to obtain these, only can get in Decentraland NFTs.
Yeah, yeah,
The same thing as the shirts. Like these Ethermons are basically these digital shirts. The game right now is like outclick everybody else at
yeah,
these like little kiosks.
yep,
That's the game. It's a very simple game, but
yeah,
people have figured it out and they've gamed it and they're winning and they're crushing the rest of us.
yeah,
Who are trying to play like casual gamers. Right? We're all getting crushed right now. Same thing's gonna happen in Ethermon. People are gonna figure out the game and they're gonna master it. They're gonna buy all these freaking garden beds, maybe just to like mass produce, so they can be quicker. I don't know exactly how it's gonna work, but
yeah.
whatever the game rules are, they'll figure it out. But the
Yeah,
end
but you
goal
know what?
is
You know what? Let's say that the 80% they figure it out. They game it, right?
Mhm.
The actual value in these Ethermon is the work that you put into it. So I might be able to extract, let's say, like 50 of these Ethermons just because I know how to communicate with the smart contract, right?
oh
But
yeah,
but you, the gamer, who's grinded out your one single Ethermon, your single Ethermon could go for hundreds of dollars versus me selling mine for like, tens of dollars because I just extracted them and there's no experience points gained. There's nothing.
yeah.
So I think it does provide a little bit of like a level playing field that there's work required in order to gain some value in an NFT.
I agree. And I've read that their Ethermon proposal, and I was very happy with it.
Yeah.
As far as like just knowing where their head is, like thinking about the future, and like their main objective is to bring like this battle,
Yeah.
gaming ecosystem into Decentraland.
Yeah.
Essentially, like everybody loves Axie so much. It's like the same thing going to be going on in Decentraland.
Yeah.
That's like literally the end game
Yeah,
of this whole thing.
exactly. Dude, you know what? This Ethermon game wouldn't be possible without MetaZone. Like if
Yeah,
if there wasn't a funding mechanism for this game wouldn't exist. And they've been trying to put this game into Decentraland, but there was no way to fund it. And now
yeah,
it's
not
coming.
not just not just fund it, but make it like
Distributable.
or like yeah, like technically feasible. Like how the fuck
Yeah,
do
it's
you
true.
create a game without owning like every piece of land? Like that's tough to do. I think Chainbreakers tried to do that, and that's
Yeah.
why they no longer exist. They like spread their assets out
Yeah,
to like this illiquid thing.
that's right.
Land is not like the most liquid. Whenever they need money, like fuck, we spent all our money on land.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we need it in order to like build our game.
That's
Like,
right.
that's just how Decentraland works. But yeah, I
It's
think
true.
I mean, fuck, dude. I mean, we can only toot our horn for so long, dude. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's not
But
really about tuning our horn. It's really to like kind of identify why this is happening now and not before.
yeah,
You
true.
know, because if we don't like understand like why this is successful, we're not going to be able to replicate it. And I think we can replicate it. And I think we're gonna see some other projects leverage this concept pretty soon.
Yeah, it's even possible with the Moonshot guy. He could 100% release some metas
Yes.
and create like basically what he's done is he did the reverse Ethermon approach. He built the end game first,
Yes.
which means he can go back and like build all the metas necessary to like support that end game
Yeah.
combat
Yeah.
ecosystem, right? That's what Ethermon's doing. They're building the in-game assets first that are distributed to support the eventual end game like
Dude,
combat arena.
that's
You know what
such a good idea, Iman. You know, what's that first person shooter that everyone likes right now?
Fortnite?
Not Fortnite.
No, it's third person. Oh crap!
It's the one with a bunch of characters. It has like 20 characters that you can select. One like a huge machine guy, and then another like
Overwatch.
Overwatch. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Imagine if Bence, the guy who created Moonshot, created an Overwatch type of game for this soccer tournament where each of the 5 characters on your team have different skill sets. One is like a power guy, one is a speed guy, one is like um
A healer.
a healer, but this is soccer, dude. This is just I'm talking about the actual soccer game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's no healing in soccer
Yeah.
unless somebody like breaks a kneecap or something. I don't know.
But think about like each of the 5 team members have different skill sets.
Yeah.
And the way you kind of gain those skill sets is if you make this sort of an RPG where you sort of adopt one of those characters and you level it up with these different metas and different actions that you can do.
Yeah.
And then you can take your powered character into the game and hopefully you have a leg up on the competition just because you've powered up your guy.
Yeah, at that point, like you as a user in Decentraland, you spent a lot of time, probably money, and like just you invested a lot of yourself into creating this unique character that has like unique attributes to it. The same amount of work like a human would put into like improve their body to become athletes.
Exactly.
You know? So the more work you put in, the more demand, and then these athletes are fucking millionaires because there's actual professional teams out there that need these athletes to support their teams, right?
Yeah.
The same thing can happen here in the metaverse, but like better.
Yeah.
Way better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like these guys have like, you know, the more you train at this certain gym that like Bence has created,
yes,
the better your jump abilities are. Like you got like these fat quads, dude. Like you're jacked. You can jump over people.
Right.
You know, you got this other dude who literally trained like, I don't know how to fucking go invincible. He just disappears out of nowhere.
Right.
You know, you become superheroes now playing soccer. Like how cool is that?
Yeah, basically gamifying this soccer game into like its individual components, like being able to, you know, being able to dribble the ball like effectively without losing a step.
Yeah, it could be as simple as that. It could literally just be like you just have better stats, like, you know, more stamina, so your guy doesn't like run out of breath.
Yes.
It could be. I'm kind of like going too far with it, but it could be as simple as that. You know, but then you have, like I said, like someone like Red Nitrous would do that, and he has the most highest stat, you know, astronaut guy.
Yeah.
So everyone's gonna want him, dude. You know, like MetaZone wants to create a team.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like a good PR move. It's a good marketing thing. Like we always want our MetaZone brand at every game.
Right.
You know, so we need a team. So we're gonna go after the guy with the highest stats, and we're gonna give him a lot of incentive to join our team, right?
Yeah.
You know, because the return might be worth it. Like that game could have thousands of viewers on Twitch every fucking week.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
And that's ad revenue. That's money. That's a real league,
dude.
Like
that's exposure.
Yeah,
dude.
Exactly. So again, he doesn't have to do any of this, Vince.
See, but the thing is, Bence, you're right. He doesn't have to do any of this, but just if we show him the example of Ethermon, he would understand like this is actually sustainable. This model where you distribute portions of the game, pieces of the game to other landowners, so that people like Red Nitrous can go power up their character, and then people like us, let's say teams, can go and recruit people like Red Nitrous, and there's going to be money involved in all these transactions. Because like you're saying, there's marketing opportunity for our brand name to be a part of these tournaments.
Yeah.
So
hell yeah. 100%, man.
Yeah, man. This is obvious to us. I don't think people recognize this yet. They don't understand like the.
Well, it's a new model. It's like it's completely new. Like
it is.
Like, so you can't expect anyone to agree with us. So it's kind of like we have to just prove it.
Yeah, set an example.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we have to prove it. Make sure it works. Make sure we're not just shooting shit out of our asses. You know what I mean? We're just.
It doesn't seem like it though. We're definitely.
I don't know. Dude.
It doesn't seem like it.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll see, man. Like
just because we understand like the rules of Decentraland is like in order to do anything you need to have land, and those who have land are landowners, and so what that means if you're going to create a game you need to involve landowners. So if you need to involve landowners, then you have to create incentives for landowners to deploy your game. And it's like, and then it's like this whole trickle down effect of like this domino effect of what you need to do as a developer in order to make any game successful in Decentraland. And so the game that we're talking about, the Bents, to modify his current Moonshot game, would be sustainable because there's a way to distribute pieces of his maybe future game to landowners to help propel this game into its final form, which could be the Moonshot with skills.
Exactly. And then you got not just like this annual event, you have this year-round competitive ecosystem that's
exactly what happens with Axie.
Yeah.
Remember that? Like almost on a weekly basis, there's always like some kind of tournament happening.
Yeah, Axie could take the current Bents model and just be like, okay, it's a 3v3 game, but every Axie is the same. You know, they all have the same stats, they all have the same moves. So go ahead, guys, load up in your Axies and we'll see who's the best.
Yeah, that's right.
That's basically what it is. But no one wants. I mean, it'll be a good spectacle for the time being, but that's not a persistent thing. It's not going to last. You know, people like to see like the evolution of the game because these new things, the new traits are coming in, the new skills are coming in.
Right.
Yada yada yada. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, this makes sense to us, dude.
To us, this makes sense if we were gonna do that.
Yeah.
But still, regardless of that, this isn't like some kind of like harsh criticism. Like we're trying to trash anything that Bents has done.
Definitely not. I don't think it sounds like that at all.
To some people, it will, just because that's the way people think. But it's not that.
Yeah. No, definitely not. If anything, it helps expand the game and support the game in a monetary way because you create the incentives for landowners to deploy it. And if they have an incentive, they're going to pay you to deploy it. And once they pay you, you can make the game, that you're envisioning, like the one that we're talking about. That's all we're doing. Whether they take that up and like go with it, and it's up to them. Yeah, but some have, right?
That's right. We're seeing it.
Yeah.
We're seeing it, dude. So that's all we've done from the beginning, man. All we've done is this.
Yes.
We've literally just done this, and like this is how medicine was created. This is how all of our games were made.
As a matter of fact, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that with Corona Zombies.
We are gonna do that. I wasn't gonna say that, but yeah.
I mean, we've already talked about it. That's why I said it.
That's true.
Yeah.
We want to do that because that's how we think. We can either spend all our time just to improve Corona Zombies and just make it this, this thing that exists in just the single parcel.
Yeah.
Like just make it look sexier, I guess. Maybe like it could still be a cool, fun game, but will people come back and want to keep playing with it?
Yeah.
Most likely not. So we have to, incorporate this model that we're talking about.
Yeah,
that not a lot of people have catched on to.
Yeah, and Ethermon's going to prove out that persistent gaming aspect, and we know it's going to be successful just because we've seen models of this be successful on other platforms, right? And we're just bringing it to Decentraland, and that's it. I mean, it's just we know that it's going to work. We just got to execute in this new model, right? In the fact that we have to involve landowners, that's the new part.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we just got to keep going. I like where everything's going. We realize multiplayer is a big deal, even though it's still kind of janky with the lag. But that's going to get fixed in one way or another.
Yeah, and I think this really pushes that narrative, the community narrative, like, all right, we've had enough. Like, I think the benefits of a client outweigh, like, the benefits of, being able to give somebody a link to Decentraland, have them hop in and...
Yeah.
Fuck that. Like, yeah, you can do that all day, have people come in and out. That's what I'm saying. But that's not what we want. We don't want in and out visitors. Like, they see like something on Twitter that's like going viral, and then they hop in to see what's all the fuss about.
Yeah.
And then they log in for 5-10 minutes. It's like the laggiest thing they've ever been on. And then they're like, okay, like this is obviously like nothing.
Yeah.
And then they leave. What you really want is like, yeah, you want this soccer game to be like, okay, we're having this big tournament. All you have to do is like install like another app. You got like 1,000 apps already, right? Like what's one more?
Yeah.
But we're gonna have this awesome, like you said, way more enjoyable experience. People are gonna love it. probably it's gonna be like 80% retention because like people are gonna want to play more,
for sure.
as opposed to like 10% or 20% retention. You know?
Yeah, and I'm one that believes that I think Decentraland should keep the web version, sort of like the window version of Decentraland, where you can jump in no matter what. But then for those who are like interested and intrigued as to what's going on, for the better experience, just go download the app.
Yeah, yeah. For things like conferencing, what we have now is fine. Like Maddie can keep doing his thing and like hustling and like, you know, because there's actually like a huge need for that with the COVID. It doesn't seem like it's gonna rest anytime soon. Like people need a place to meet and gather and shit, you know, and like quickly, like these impromptu meetings and shit. Like the browser works for that.
Yeah, hell yeah, I totally agree. The browser's for the conferences, and the client is for the gaming.
Yeah, the clients for like the real diehard users, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The people who want to like actually spend the majority of their day in Decentraland.
Right.
Because there's so much to do, right? And there's proper incentive to do so, you know?
Yeah. And then imagine once this goes on mobile, then you'd be able to take care of Ethermon without leaving the couch, dude.
That's right. And then you can show all your dumb friends at school and shit, like, look what I got.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't have one of these, do you?
Yeah.
Like, what's that? Yeah. It's like it's a fucking Saxamon or whatever.
Saxamon.
I don't know. Yeah, and then bring them on that way, dude. And then you can pull out like your hot plushie doll, like from your backpack, dude. Because I know they're making those too.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah, dude! I can't wait, dude.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I think let's call it. Yeah. So make sure that the Moonshot tournament is going to continue on for like another week or so. So if you're not seeing these tournaments, they're actually pretty entertaining if you can like stomach the lag. All these companies are competing against each other. Some take it a little bit more seriously than others, but nonetheless, it's entertaining, and it's only 5 minutes long, and there's 3 matches per day or per night. If you're in the U.S.,
I think that's gonna. No, that's probably gonna stay right. Now that we're like in the next bracket, it's probably still gonna be.
Well, there's one more. There's one more where there's 3 matches, but then you're right.
Yeah, by the time this is out, like that will be done.
That's true.
Most likely, it will be like going through like the final stages of the tournament.
Yeah.
But which is still like that's like the best shit. That's the shit you would really want to watch.
For sure.
Like the last couple of games of the tournament, right?
Yeah. So
definitely tune in for that.
Yeah, tune in for that. If you want like specific details of when the matches start, make sure you join either our Discord or Decentralized Discord. They have that.
Yeah, and follow Frankie on Twitter.
Follow Frankie
Needles,
Maddie, Anorak.
All these guys,
yeah.
all these DCL core guys. Follow on Twitter because they're usually like.
Oh yeah, DCL core. Yeah, they moved on, right? They moved on to the next round of the tournament.
That's right. Yeah,
so root on for those.
Frankie thinks they're gonna win the whole thing, but I don't know, man. I saw some hot. Who did I see today? See, that's the thing, man. I called him hot. Like Set had like a 12-0 victory, but I think like half the team were like undefined, fucking snipers out there and shit. You know what I mean? So I don't. That's just who knows if those guys are gonna show up tomorrow. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
So nobody really knows who's gonna win. So
well, I think Polygonal Mind also won, and they have pretty good computers, right? Because they're doing a lot of visual stuff.
They're like actual devs and creators and shit. Yeah. So they have like top of the line stuff.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So I mean, anyone's gonna take this tournament just because of lag. Lag is gonna hit you whether you like it or not, whether you have a good computer or not. So,
damn, dude, we need to upgrade. Dude, just thinking of that, dude. Fuck, man.
Oh, I know, man, dude.
We have a huge disadvantage with y'all's motherfucking.
You know what? Next, dude. Once we upgrade, it's gonna be full force. We're gonna own these guys, dude.
Yeah.
Like. I take this seriously.
Late, dude. We already fucking lost, bro. Like, you gotta wait till next year.
Dude, next one though.
Okay, I got
because we're gonna set up our own like Corona Zombies tournament as well. It's gonna be like multiplayer.
Oh, I can't wait for that,
dude.
Yeah, man, I can't wait till we get like deep into the development. We just gotta finish MetaZone. We gotta get that shit like hot and ready, dude, to where like that's not like our main focus, so we can start creating like cool content. You know what I mean? Again.
Yeah,
like
man, bootstrapping it. It's quite the ride.
It's tough, dude. Yeah. But, yeah, we're still here, boys and girls. We're gonna keep on going. But like I said, we're still going to broaden our perspective a little, just for the sake of this podcast and for me and Will's general knowledge,
sanity too, and exactly, knowledge.
Like we have to, dude. That's just the way we are, man. We can't just stay tunnel visioned.
Yeah,
even though that's probably like the best thing to do when you're like trying to chase success, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is to have that tunnel vision, but fuck, man, that's tough for me.
But it's like when we talk to the DeFi guys, they didn't want to talk DeFi, they want to talk metaverse because it's more interesting. So if we just talk to regular people who are working on different projects, I'm confident they'll be interested in what's going on with the metaverse. And so we bring in more community members, bigger audience. I mean, it helps everybody.
That's right. And like we were gonna do like the thing, like, you know, we were asking ourselves, what's this podcast gonna be? Because most of our time is in MetaZone, so like it probably should just be like us going around interviewing other community members building.
Yeah.
But there's already plenty of people doing that. We got Open NFT doing that. We got Frankie doing that.
Yeah.
And now he's got like approval for like a news station, so he's literally going to be doing that like all the time.
Yeah, which is good.
So it's like
we need
which
that.
Is like we don't have to do that.
Yeah,
there's don't have plenty of that.
Yeah, I agree. I think
so we could do other stuff.
Yeah, we'll focus on like just general knowledge, crypto, and projects that we're interested in that we want to talk to, and we have more like questions about, and we'll talk to them just like we've done in the past. And I mean, we're more interested in like learning about what's going on in the cryptoverse, and just so we know what's going on. I mean, that's how we started. And you don't know like what other shenanigans we can get into by like talking to all these different people.
Yeah, maybe there'll be like some cool fusion event. Who knows?
Exactly.
We'll see.
Exactly. All right, man. Thanks for joining. For those of you in the metaverse or the internet, as they call it, make sure you follow us at the Block Runner and at MetaZone.io on Twitter, and like and subscribe. Ask us any questions. We read every single comment. We try to comment on everybody's comment as well. And join our Discord as well. So you'll see those links in the description, and we will see you next week.
That's right. Stay safe out there, everybody.
All right. See you later.
See you later.